Hey, Fighter Out Warriors, happy Wednesday. A new day, you cannot start over, just keep on going. Yesterday, I celebrated 25 years of non-stop commitment to my life dream that I wanted to make my reality. And not one moment have I regretted that. And in all my years, you bet there's been a lot of fears and doubts and fights and struggle and hating myself for wanting to achieve my goals, hating myself for having the dream, hating myself for, going back on my word, and loving myself for everything I do, loving myself the most, be so happy and so excited and feel like $1,000,000, feel like I'm invincible, and then woo, all the way down to the dark, succumbed mind again when what you love isn't making you happy anymore because you you feel missing out on all the stuff that you used to have, and now you forget how you used to feel that made you work so hard. So through a quarter century, trust me, I am so grateful that I do not and didn't listen to my own fears and to people who wanted to add to my fears, to people who did not want to have a way to find the way, that I was just sticking to what I want to do for myself and not waiting for others or not having anyone who's going to follow along, not waiting for a crowd, because if I don't have a crowd, I'm not going to do it. I am so utmost happy and thankful to my own dedication, to myself, that my self-belief, that I believe that I can do this, and I'm not in my life ever feeling that I need something that I'm not. That strength, wherever that comes from, and I'm so grateful. When you go through your journey, a typical thing that I notice that I'm just pretty tired of is that too much emphasis on debating about how realistic a goal is or how hard should you work, how much time are you interested in investing. And it feels like everyone is trying to have a consensus, almost like this is what we're all going to agree is we are willing to do this much, but not more. Okay, good. So everyone can feel good. Now, I'm not a part of a person who's in a union. This is not a fitness union that we're all going to agree about X amount of minutes we're going to walk, how hard are we going to work, how much are we willing to win over ourselves. No, 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 nothing of that. Because we're just going to say it's okay not to work so hard. But here's the thing. Why come with that message to a group of people who are hardworking and want to work hard? It's no different than some people want to compete in the Olympics. Some people don't. But both can do the exercise or do the sport. So there's a difference between going for a walk and running an 8-hour marathon, but it's the same activity. To some people, they want to take it to the highest level. They get a high out of being more than average. That's one of me. Then we have the people who just want to be basic and average and not push harder. But if you're that, it's really good to know that about yourself. Because you might sit there with fitness goals and fitness dreams, but you are not at all interested in doing any of what is pertaining to that whole lifestyle of fitness people who get to achieve goals. So if you're not willing to do it, it would be no different than me complaining about, I don't want to get pregnant, I don't want to have a family, I don't want to get married, I don't want to have a supporting husband to have a family, I don't want to raise children. But then I'm going to complain that I didn't have a family, I didn't get married, I don't have a company. Pooh me now, right? And that's another thing that I'm so happy to be a solitary person who's go away from the crowd. Because we need outsiders and we need insiders. We need everyone to focus on themselves. So then when it comes to goals and comparing, that in the nature of what you do is we compare, because if you're not getting fitter, you need to compare yourself to who is doing something that you're not, because otherwise you will have no reality insight. It's no different than when I started my first thing that I bought, when I saw Arnold on the cover. And I realized, oh, it's exercise. I didn't know what he was doing, so I just got a little mini stepper. That's what I thought was what to build a body with. And then after that, I started my first routine, and I got shocked and don't understand why I'm not getting stronger, why I'm not getting more and more fit because I'm doing the same workout. That's when I learned it doesn't take the same thing. It takes more and more and different versions. That's also learning. And now, if I had been like most people now, are looking at unrealistic photos, looking at unrealistic body journeys because you are comparing yourself to a body that's been chiseled for years or decades. You are looking at that, making your call for your fitness life, which is based on you need to actually realize that if you don't start working out, you're not going to have a body, you're going to be too old, you're going to have a weak heart, and then you're not going to live long. And you might want to live long, I don't know. But that means that you have woken up and realized that you're not that young anymore, that everything is just a way. So you got to work it. Now, if you now sit there with thinking that it's not worth it because I cannot achieve what a woman spent a decade on building for herself, to put it on her highest priority. But since you cannot have it to that level, thinking now that you would spend 10 years before you would have that body, you're not going to do anything. Now imagine if she had had that mentality, that she's not going to start because she's not going to have it enough in an adequate time. Then add to that people have too much insight to other people's lives about everyday selfie, everyday edited selfie, everyday new. And you notice that everything body is kind of, it's like, it's documented like it's a moment after moment change situation. That you're every moment, you got to know something new to do. You have to always, like an emergency situation, like stress day in, day out, everything is falling apart. But if that is your life, you're not going to have the peace and calm of mind to have it, to build your body and your life. So now people sit in general, complain that it's not fun to have a body that you're working so hard for, and it's never going to be up to your, hey, crazy. Oh, sorry, but these people who are not at all understanding that you gotta look to the right when they're they're not, they're not driving and not looking. Anyway, back to me, focus, Pauline, but gotta watch. So anyway, you pedestrians, watch it. Don't look at your phone. I'm not looking, but trust me. So now if you're gonna debate about how, let's say, if you are to invest in your life, and let's say you gained a lot of weight, and now it's not going to be a body that has a chance to be competitive on a competition stage. Let me bring the news to you. Without you gaining weight at all and just be perfect normal body, you would probably not have it in you anyway to compete. My whole point is not that to say you don't have what it takes. It takes about what are you thinking it's to have what it takes. Because I didn't have the body to be on a naked Playboy cover. I didn't want to, but I couldn't because I don't have the titties for it. I bought mine. They were not going to be better anyway. Mine bought are not going to be perfect enough for a cover anyway. Does that mean that I'm going to hate or not feel that it's worth it, or I don't like or love my body? No, that's what I mean. That if you go and align with the group that you're gonna just do this because you already sabotage yourself, so your whole life it doesn't matter to take care of yourself, to be happy, to change the way you perceive your body. Because if you forget that you could have a body, let's say you went all crazy, 450 pounders, and you're massive, and now you don't know what to do, you cannot rebound to tight little skin and look like you never had a life, that you forgot that you gotta watch your diet a little bit. If you never had that, yeah, you gotta give your body love and understanding that it cannot rebound just because you want it to. You gotta have a little bit more compassion for life. That you gotta handle it and see it for, hey, be careful, be grateful you still have a body. So you gotta then think like this, that me, a fitness person, an icon in the industry, if I hadn't changed the way I let my body and mind talk, or how I can shame or be mad or hate on my body, if I didn't learn how to be better and wanting to be better, I would sit there and criticize with you and the rest. And imagine how that would make you feel. I wouldn't I wouldn't make me feel happy at all. And I would keep on looking at my body the same way we all can, with criticism and negativity, to the level that I know I have been, where I felt I looked like a freak and I felt like, what is this? To really see my body that has been admired by everyone, that I feel like I cannot, I can't, I don't have, this is not my body. You're so far unattached from your body that you feel like you're not part of it. You know what I mean? That's usually how you feel when you're not taking care of your body. But that deformed mind about reality and listening to people who are just criticizing, and then photo and how photos can be tweaked, and you don't see what's real or not. You can really get completely confused and lost. And if you don't have the strength and the courage for yourself, you're gonna be listening. And that's what I did, because I didn't know, because I grew up like an original on social media stars in fitness. So I was the generation where we are to talk to everyone, to answer everyone, to listen and let everyone have an opinion, because that's how I was raised, and that's what it was, the way to be on social media in the start. You have to answer everyone, because if you don't, you don't care. And of course, you cannot show that. All your fans are going to hate you. You have to show. So I was kind of known for answering people. And what it did for me was I got all this negativity and trolls and everything I wasn't prepared for. So my ignorance and my naivety, I don't know how to say that, was definitely getting it to me, because I didn't know what to do, and I got so mad at people for not understanding and just having what I'm talking about now, because I had to grow and realize, okay, that's people. So I had 15 years of that, and then pandemic, and I just said, screw that. I'm done with social media. That wasn't done, because I gotta be where I gotta be to make my impact with you. I cannot help people focusing just to be myself, living solitary with my happy fitness life routine. I cannot do that. That's the pain I take from my passion, that I have to be in the wildfires and in the fights for finding the people I fight for. So now think about that your mind, you think it's all about your body, that you were obese and fat or saggy skin, and how it looks worse. And that's the thing. Everyone in fitness competition who's been around know that before your body looks leaner and stronger, it's going to look sagger. That's a part of fat loss. But now, if all you're going to see is shrinking skin and saggy skin, and you're listening to everyone else who thinks this is the worst thing ever you can have, when I see, no, this shows you're losing fat, be happy. It's going to be a status symbol in the future that you have so much loose skin. Just listen to that. It's going to be a whole other perception of that, because it indicates and reflects who you are, who made that huge change happen, knowing that you're never going to be so-called perfect. You sacrificed that badass. And that's what I think is going to be the kind of real big, ooh, that's badass, something status symbol in the future. And that is what nobody can do or buy or make anyone else do for you. You only can do it for yourself. So to all my big people who have a long way to go, you are bodybuilders right away from the first day. There is not, when am I going to be a bodybuilder? You are building your body ass off today, and you're going to keep on doing that until you forever, just like me. As long as you need a body to live, you're going to keep on building to keep it up. Because if you don't keep on building, it's going to break down. And that's life anyway. So you're going to have the building just to stay afloat. And the staying afloat is the thriving life. And when you have things that you do every day in your routine that is good for you, you make yourself a happy person. So you who think that how are you going to be able to love your body with all the saggy skin from weight loss and not having taken care of your body and all that. Just think about that your mind can completely change the way you perceive and love everything. To see everything you see with hatred and disgust now, you're going to see it with beauty and happiness and love. Because you can change the way you perceive it, trust me. And you can completely just see it's an opinion. What if this is just a beauty ideal you have never heard about before? Because the time changes all the time. Just look back in history. There was a time with my red, fragile little skin or something, were kind of popular because it showed that you didn't have to work. You look pale, right? Because I stay out of the sun. So when you work on your mindset and you realize that the whole process, what other people think is bad, saggy skin, looking worse, think about this. Why would you be able to be rewarded so fast? It's the reason why most people quit right now in transformation is they doubt. They don't believe that it's going to look better or feel better. They don't believe in time and that you have to keep on working through time, that you have to be consistent day in, day out. They don't believe in that. So they think it's going to take a week. And if it doesn't happen in a week, it's not working. You see what I mean now? That everyone stops the whole process. And if I had been that, I would not be here 25 years later. So to summarize, you have the power to change the way you perceive. You don't have to listen to anyone. When people always, because it's out of love that people want to help others, but it gets very annoying. I know that they want to give you help and tell them what saved their life. You know what you have to do? Just shut it off. Just turn it off. You don't have to listen to noise. Just know people try out of love. They don't know better. So know that. Be beyond. That's the way to do it. Take the high road, stay high.